All right. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Makakadash. Honest to those I've learned from. Those men is constantly pushing out this word, keeping the sheep fed. Double honors to their teachers, the apostles of all Israel. And shalom to those of Yasharala, seeking the truth, seeking righteousness, and hoping for edification. All right, this one's going to be quick as usual, as quick as I can get it out. Let's just hear this guy real quick.
Russia is a gas station masquerading as a country. It's kleptocracy, it's corruption, it's a nation that is really only dependent upon oil and gas. Russia is a gas station masquerading as a country. It's kleptocracy, it's corruption, it's a nation that is really only dependent upon oil and gas for their economy. And so economic sanctions are important. Get some military assistance to Ukrainians, at least so they can defend themselves. Resume the missile defense system.
So you heard it from him. He's just talking the same old smack he's always talking. He's just saying, that was John McCain right there. He says, Russia is just a gas station masquerading as a country. He said that back in 2016. I think he died maybe 3 years later. I don't know. He's been dead for a while. Good riddance, by the way. I mean, this guy, he went to Annapolis, right? His father went to Annapolis. His grandfather went to Annapolis. Annapolis is military school, Navy. They're in Navy. That's Navy. They went to Navy. Annapolis, that military school in Annapolis. And this dude graduated 5th from the bottom of his class. There's like 459 people in his class, and he graduated 454. Now, you think if your father and your grandfather did this, it was like in your blood. It's something you want to do. And they skated this guy through. They did everything to help him. Oh, that's John McCain, his pappy and his grandpappy. They did trust me. They did everything they could do to make this nigga damn graduate. And he graduated 5th from the bottom of his class. I remember looking it up when he was running against Obama. He was talking he was trying to push DEI before it was DEI, talking about Obama, who is he, we had to check up on, and he's never gone back to school after that. So all he's done is undergrad at Navy in Annapolis, and the best he could do was 5th from the bottom of the class, even though his father and grandfather went to the same school. I mean, 'cause that's the kind of legacy these Edomites have been having in America. I mean, you raised by a single mother, and you just hope to find a job. You don't even know what you're gonna do. Maybe you can play football, basketball, but you don't even know what you're gonna do. These people, their uncle was a constable. Their great uncle maybe was the mayor, 40 years ago. They come from a lineage in this fact. This is their society. The Negro, he doesn't even own the home he lives in. He's in public housing. See, there's a completely different mindset between the Negro in America and the red boy in America. The person called him white, the self-proclaimed white guy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So he got on TV with his big broad ass and called Russia a country masquerading as a gas station masquerading as a country. Russia has been around thousands of years, way before America, gone through conflict. They've formed themselves through wars, attacks from the eastern border, the southern border. This is a form, has culture. Paul Robeson, I remember he was a famous African-American that relocated to Russia. I remember seeing when they were doing all the lynchings in America. They were doing like speakings in Russia talking about why is the white man lynching the Negro. I mean, these people have culture. They have a huge border. They have different nationalities. You know, they have the Japheth is over there. Ham is over there. This guy is running. And they found out after that. They found out after that Ukraine war. This guy, he's a master chess player, and he has skills on the battlefield. And this dude that got captured in the Vietnam War, and remember his captives heard how he told a story about how he was some sort of hero. He wouldn't leave until the rest of his men that were captured were left out. He would be the last man to leave. And the captain said, I don't remember it the same way he's remembering it. And I believe the other dude. But anyway, enough of John McCain. The whole time he's sitting there talking about, this was in March 2014, Senator John McCain famously described Russia as a gas station masquerading his country in March 2014 following Russia's annexation of Crimea. He argued that Russia's economy was solely dependent on oil and gas exports, labeling it a corrupt kleptocracy that required strict Western economic sanctions to stop its aggression in Ukraine. So you heard what this dude said back in 2014, right? Now, did Russia get strict economic sanctions? Yes. I mean, they still trying to put sanctions on these people. And guess what? They flourished. They flourished. Their weapons, their Pentagon equivalency is way better than America's, and they pay way less money. So that means they're way smarter than you. Okay? You're paying all this money, and you're not really seeing the results of it. Look at that F-35. How many of them have you lost so far just dealing with Iran? All right. So that's what John McCain said back in 2014. Here in 2026, he's dead and gone. Russia's still here. They're still holding up. They've acquired more land. And he was just, this dude finished fifth from the bottom of his class. I mean, he's failing upwards. This dude's a senator. This dude is failing up. Got rid of one wife after she had a cancer diagnosis. Picked up a new chick. I mean, this dude, yo. The whole thing is we can really get into your background. And I remember this guy because this dude talks some shit, man. But, yeah. We see, these are the people you don't need to be listening to. I don't know where he falls within the Epstein files. I'm pretty sure he hung out. I remember him. It was him, Joe Lieberman, and freaky, flimsy Lindsey Graham. Those used to be the three amigos going everywhere, drumming up war beats. Drums, you know what I'm saying? And the only one left now is Lindsey Graham. The other two have died off. And Lindsey Graham is still out there, boy. He's the last of the amigos. And when he yeah. Well, that's those are his cohorts. That's who he hung out with. Lieberman and Graham. So that tells you all you need to know about John McCain if you don't know who I'm talking about. The former senator of Arizona. But yeah, the whole time he's sitting there talking about Russia is a gas station masquerading as a country. The other nations are hearing this, and in real life, guys, there are countries that are gas stations that are masqueraded as a country. And that one of the main ones would be Saudi Arabia. Okay? And the whole time they're saying this, they're listening. And they're like, Saudi Arabia's feeling some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So you know what since this time, you know what they've done? They've tried to build up some culture and show the world that they're not just a gas station. They went and started up the Live Golf Public Investment Fund So, they were pulling golfers from the PGA. They're trying to say maybe we can show the world that we're different through golf. What else did they do? They went and they said, you know what? We're going to try to build up our culture through sports. They went golf, and then they went they went and acquired the greatest athlete, one of the greatest athletes known in the world, Cristiano Ronaldo. They pulled him over into Al Nassr, which is their pro league for soccer. So when John McCain said that, he doesn't understand the repercussion when he's saying there actually is a culprit out there that is a gas station masquerading as a country. And that would be Saudi Arabia, Qatar, maybe the UAE, Dubai. I mean, these countries, they're just old farm herders that was out one day with their goats and their lamb, and some black stuff may have been coming out the ground, and all of a sudden, they damn well and filthy rich, built up a whole infrastructure, and got a lot of that. Well, one thing about Dubai, they said they do have a nice a lot of tourism going on there. But Saudi Arabia, they can't really do that. They have like strict. First of all, they have a lot of biblical sites there. They don't want the common man to even visit. They have that's pretty much all they have, and they do give their people some of the money that they get from their gas, but it's mostly just a gas station masquerading as a country. And and if one of the main people bucking up since that was said has been Saudi Arabia. They've just been in the news cycle. I remember when MSB, who is the current CEO of Saudi Arabia, I believe the king is still alive, but MSB is in the leadership, Mohammed bin Salman. And when he came in power, I mean, he went and got his uncles and all the other aristocrats and had them in a room. Some of them was damn tied to chairs, shaking them upside down, trying to find out where all the gold's at. And it was like something went down that we just couldn't figure out. Just a lot of things changed in the past 10 years, 10, 12 years since this whole statement, gas station, masquerading as a country, popped out. Okay. So we see that Saudi Arabia felt some kind of way. They figured they're going to change their little outlook, change their culture a little bit, change their view, let the world see them. They tried that line thing. They're going to build that huge line. It's like a huge village or town, super urban, that was just going to be inside because it's super hot down there. So it's going to be all inside. It's going to be like a building that was a mile long, just all connected. And they're trying to do some different things, but that line thing had to get scrapped. That was just out of control, ridiculous. It's just too many things to go wrong right there. So they had to scrap that because it should have been done. It should have been on its way to completion within the next half a decade to 10 years. So who knows what happened there? But let's hit the scripture. We're gonna go with Isaiah 33 and 33. Woe unto thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. Yeah. So this guy, if he think that all these countries over there aren't hoping for you to get ass whooping, you're seriously wrong. You're over there. Who the fuck told you to go to the Strait of Hormuz? Bring your shitty, old, raggedy yachts over, aircraft carriers over to the Middle East, where they over there hungry, battling for power, battling for temperature control housing, battling for plumbing, battling for food, still have outdoor markets, see missiles on a daily, weekly, going over their head. This is something they see and they know about. Their comrades are being destroyed in the Gaza, and you're gonna bring your manicured Gucci belt ass wearing stuff over. Man, they about to. The man said we are waiting for them to land in the on our territory. We're waiting for them, and then we're gonna fight them man to man. And I want to give it a shout out to Rick Sanchez. I mean, this whole thing. I started watching news when first when because you just don't have time, man. You don't have time. But when Obama started running for president, I wanted to see how they're going to make this guy lose the presidency. So I started watching the news when I first started taking notice of the news. And one of my favorite people to watch was Rick Sanchez. And back in maybe, I don't know, 2008, 2000, maybe 2010, he said something against those small hats, and they got him taken off the air at CNN. And I was like, damn. So I just started watching CNN. That's when I started watching RT News. It started up like around 2010. And all of that happened so that he could be there today. And I think he's out of Miami, but now he's living in Russia. And this guy, his reporting is the best. Truthfully, I don't watch anyone else's reporting. I don't watch CNN, Fox News, but he is giving some real good reporting. He's talking to the Iranian foreign minister, and he's asking the hard questions. And that man, he asked the foreign minister or whoever the secretary of defense is over there, the equivalency, and he said, are you ready for American troops? He said, yes, we're ready for them, and we're going to fight them man to man. Come to find, trust me, Americans ain't going to fight you man to man. But he said he can't wait for them to, he didn't say he can't wait. He said when they land on his territory, we're going to be ready for them. So, and then people that really know the logistics of war was talking about, look, Trump ain't really thinking. You're going into the Levant area, into the so-called Middle East, Western Asia. It's hot, and it takes each person needs a liter of water a day, so that it's hotter there. So that with the logistics, they're going to need like 2 to 3 liters a day just to be able to perform as a human. So you're going to have to, when you get them down, if you're going to take the Karg Island, you're going to actually have to, have the food, have the water. They got to get on touchdown with water, able to, maintain themselves while they're there fighting. And they said, this guy, he's surrounded by a whole bunch of yes men, nothing but a bunch of groupthink going on. You can't have groupthink around you when you're about ready to go to war. You got to count. Even the Bible tells you got to count the cost before you make that move. So let's see what else we got here. We got Obadiah 1 and 7. And we're going to wrap it on up. Obadiah 1 and 7. Right here. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. Ooh, even like the Strait of Hormuz. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. And this goes with this guy Trump, man. This guy's weird, man. We're talking about bureaucratic and diplomatic stages, levels, and he's talking weird because they're stupid. That's a stupid person. These people aren't stupid. These people are doing things for survival. And he's over here calling certain people stupid because they don't want to steal the oil. They don't want to do it. They're just stupid people. These are reasonable people. They're not thinking like you. You see? You've got to think like, there's nothing but group think going on with this guy. If you don't think about like him, you're a stupid person. Before I call someone stupid, I take a step back and I would just think for a second. I try to think on what they just told me. And sometimes these niggas are stupid, but sometimes this person might have a point. But when you come to, you're dealing with and a diplomat, you don't call people stupid. Because trust, that's how you get et tu brute, man. That's how you get knifed up on the Senate floor for real. You start calling people stupid, they're gonna take offense to that. But anyway, so this guy, well, here we go. He says, all the men of thy confederacy. So everyone, look, Canada, their confederacy was NATO. Look, this is what, let's take a step back here. This is what Article 5 looks like right here. No one is said they're coming to help Trump. They said, we're not helping you. Spain said, no, you can't use our bases. UK said, we ain't trying to get involved in it. Article 5 is the cornerstone of alliance's collective defense, declaring that an armed attack against one member is an attack against all. I mean, usually when NATO roll, they roll deep. They ain't rolling deep. It's only Israel and America right now. And maybe that's why they're hiding it. Every time they get hit up on one of their aircraft carriers get hit, they lie and say, oh, it was a laundry room fire. Oh, toilets are over. Maybe they don't want people to know that, look, Article 5 ain't what you think it was, ain't what it said it was going to be. There's no one's coming to the aid of America right now. Because it's clear that Iran is touching them. But, hey, I don't believe Israel's in NATO, so that's not Article 5 proof. But America's getting touched right now, but they don't want to admit it. So we don't have to say there's a falter we see here. There's some in Article 5. But as we can see, with it going down like this, it's going to come back to these Europeans that are saying they're not going to help America because they're going to just start talking to Trump, to Putin, but like, Putin, what's up, man? Yeah, man, you ain't going to hit us with none of them Russian missiles or nothing, are you? Because America's going to be like, look, we needed your help. You didn't help us. So tell them, so when that Russian hit the Big Ben over there, tell them it was a damn fire. Tell them that it was a meteor or something. Because Article 5 ain't going to be in effect that day either, because we're not coming to help you. If you don't help us, we ain't helping you. So, man, this thing's getting ugly, but it's so beautiful. And we're just looking to wrap this thing up, man. I mean, we're wrapping this. Look at Esau's up to Esau's tricks again. Look, the DHS secretary. Look at this chick. That's her husband, and that is also her husband. What's the headline say? Secret double life of Kristi Noem's cross-dressing husband, Byron. These people are complete freaks. Look, all the nations are ready for you to go down. If you think that everybody, the Africans are like, yo, do your thing, Iran. Everybody, South Korea, Americans are like, yo, beat their ass. No, well, we did not pass any legislation telling Trump to go over there to destroy the Hormuz. If you see them niggas show up, beat their ass. I don't know what they doing over there. Because nobody wants these freaks running policy anymore. This dude got a wife, but I guess hers ain't big enough, so he want to go get some prostate. These people got to go, man. They do not belong near the power seat. And as long as they're there, nothing is safe. There's nothing this freaky red boy won't do. Okay? Boy, that they love putting Tiger out there, man. Tiger, man. Damn, they love it when they get Tiger in the jam. Man, they won't stop. They're going to keep the show about Tiger. You're an idiot. Tiger, I don't know. This little freak. I mean, look at it. Man, I don't know. This girl, she won't go sit her ass down somewhere. You made enough songs. You done enough movies. Go enjoy your money. It's just, and then this epidemic right here. Boy, this place, whew. But that fire is coming. It's up ending right there. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kadash. Honor to those I've learned from. Double honor to their teachers, the apostles of all Israel. And shalom to those of Yasharallah, seeking the truth, seeking righteousness, and hoping for edification. Shalom.